Hey guys, thanks for joining me. And if you like what you see, please subscribe.
Hello, peoples! I have a review of this bird and trout knife from Bark River Knives. This knife is uh, just an incredible little knife to have in the kitchen or out in the field as a game knife, and I really appreciate a lot of things by it. You can get this knife for when they're in stock anywhere. I think like the lowest base model is coming in around 180, 150, maybe. I think it's probably closer to 150. But if you get nice scales like this is maple burl. You're talking about a lot more, 250, 300, depending on what you get with the handle material. Knife ships free and DLT are the two companies you can get Bark River knives from here in the US. I usually get them from DLT, but sometimes I go over to Knife Ships Free as well, depending on what I want or what I'm looking for. This happened to be a pre-order, so I was able to get the material that I wanted. I have a lot of other knives in maple burl from Bark Rivers, and I just happen to like the way that it looks, but don't be thrown off by that if you don't like it. I think this is really good. The way that it's been stabilized is beautiful. There were some voids like right here where the maple burl was, but that's been filled in really nicely. The fit and finish on this is really good. The pins are very flush. There's no holes or anything. It's just all around very nicely fit and finished. I'd give it a 9 out of 10. Um, yeah, very nice. The blade itself is very, very thin, and it's a convex grind. And it's a convex grind that goes all the way from the tip up to the spine. Some knives aren't like that, but for cutting meat and stuff like that, that's what it's going to do. Let me get a good piece of paper if I can find one. And, it's going to stay sharp forever. Uh, yeah, it's just going to stay sharp for a really long time. I've only stropped this and I've used it extensively. This came to a very fine tip, and I don't know if you can tell, but the very tip of it actually broke off. It was put into the sink in a coffee cup, point down, and kind of dropped in there, and the very tip broke off. I'm not going to name any names, but hopefully you know who you are. So I will have to finish it off, but it's such a small break that I'll be able to, with my convex sharpener on my KME system, be able to fix that back up again. But having said that, because of the fine tip when it was there, and because of the blade shape and the thin, very thin stock material that it's made out of, I'm going to guess this is 3/16, that this was just 3/16. Do I mean that? Just under a quarter inch is what I mean. Um, this just slices through meat. It's really easy, and you can see how prepping game and small game and fish is this is exactly what it is as advertised. This is 154 cm, which if you cut something acidic or whatever and you don't clean it off immediately and you let it sit by the side of the sink overnight, it will patina. This hasn't done that. I'm just going to say in general though, 154 is stainless, but you need to take care of it. You need to clean it when you're done cooking steak or eating steak with it or whatever. Otherwise, you get a little bit of patina. I'm not against patina in general, but I try to avoid it as well. Once it starts getting it, though, it's not the end of the world. Just something you should be aware of. The ergos on this are really good. I can get a full 4-finger grip on it. Most of the time, though, I'm holding it in a pinch grip like this to cut things, or down like this. My 4 full fingers get inside of the butt of the knife here. Not that I'm going to be using it like that often, but it's nice that it does. I really like the way that the handles work out on Bark River knives in general. Just very, ergonomically pleasing to me. And overall, the dimensions on this are great. Like the amount of handle to the amount of blade is just about perfect. Yeah, I think that this is a great bird and trout knife. It is exactly what it's supposed to be, and the convex grind makes it absolutely excellent for what it does. Um, so I would suggest that you get this knife if you're looking for a bird and trout knife. Absolutely, 100% does what it said it was going to do. The only negatives I would have is that, because it's so thin, coming to that tip again, you just have to be careful of it. And the 154 is great. Would I have preferred it in MagnaCut? Yeah, I think I would have preferred it in MagnaCut, honestly. And I don't often say that because I think MagnaCut isn't necessarily a good knife to have in the field, like if you're going to be camping with it a lot, just because I don't know, it's just a feeling that I have. I kind of like 154, but for being a strictly only kitchen knife, I feel like Magna Cut is a better, kitchen only knife. And honestly, that's where I'm going to be using this. I'm going to be using this in the kitchen all the time. I'm a cook, and that this knife I use a lot, and I use it in the kitchen. And I would just prefer 154. I mean, Magna Cut, but 154 absolutely fine. I'm not, that's a very nitpicky thing to say. So yeah, those are my thoughts about the bird and trout knife. Thanks so much for joining me today. If you liked, please like and subscribe. Also, you can win a knife a month by supporting me on Patreon. Follow the link down below. I really appreciate it. And I'll see you guys next time on Sharp Ends. Bye bye now.